It's supposed to be easy. It's supposed to produce. That stuff doesn't happen anymore because of sin. So our relationship with creation is fractured. Our relationship with God is fractured. Adam and Eve walked with God, in relationship with God, in perfect relationship with God. And yet, sin entered in, and that relationship was fractured. But even the relationship with one another, we're supposed to be in relationship with one another. So God saw that Adam, it wasn't good for him to be alone, so he made Eve. We had this partnership in the ruling of the earth and the relationship with God. But because sin enters in, we have fractured relationships. And because of those fractured relationships, sin infects everything. Sin infects everything. One of my favorite things to tell people, maybe it's not a good reason why it's my favorite thing, but when I do like marriage counseling, I talk about unmet expectations. Unmet expectations, in my opinion, are the number one reason why couples fight. You don't have to be like a couple in a relationship or a spouse. It can be friends. It can be family. Any relationship you have with people, unmet expectations cause problems. Well, who's supposed to clean? Who's supposed to cook? Who does the grocery shopping? Who buys things when it's $5 for $3 of cream cheese? Who buys 5 cream cheeses? Who says we don't need that many? I came home with 10, actually. It was on sale. Who changes the dirty diapers? Who wakes up in the middle of the night? Who takes the dogs out? Who does the outdoor, like lawn care and work? Who paid for one meal out in a friend group? Well, then we expect them to pay the next time, right? We have expectations with friends. We have expectations with family and in relationships of like couples and married spouses. We have relationships with one another. But because of sin and a fractured relationships, we have unmet expectations, and it causes problems. And they might not be spoken, but maybe you just have them in your heart. Now, we have that with God. Cain had that with God. Cain got mad that God favored Abel's offerings. So the passage that we read in the Message translation, it says that God said to Cain that, well, if you would do well, you'd be favored, you'd be approved. It wouldn't be okay. Well, not doing well isn't like you do a good job on a test or you work really hard. It's more about Cain's heart. And we'll see this as we kind of dive into the rest of the passage, but Cain's heart wasn't right with God. Abel loved God so much that Abel gave everything of his best to God and didn't really expect anything in return, just saw God and wanted to please him. Cain saw that Abel was getting this approval, and Cain got angry. Cain was giving to God as well, but God did not approve. So Cain got mad, went away. As Eugene Peterson would write it, he had a tantrum. He had a fit. He was mad. He goes away very sad, and God approaches him. Hey, why are you angry? If you would just love me, you would give me your best. You would love me for me. How often do we in life try to manipulate God? Are we like, hey, we're going to give you these offerings and we expect something in return? Or, hey, if we're a good person, we get to go to heaven, right? Or if we pray really hard, you're going to answer my prayers, right? This is kind of Cain's mentality. God, I've been doing this. Why don't you favor me? Why don't you love me? And God warns him, sin is at your door. Temptation is knocking, and if you don't control it, it will make you fall. We have that with Adam and Eve. We have that with Adam and Eve. They were in the garden, but unmet expectations caused them to sin. They saw God, they saw their relationship with him, they're created in his image, and the serpent used a twisting of words to convince them that God was holding out. Well, don't you want to be like God? You will not surely die. Your eyes will be opened. You will